right, so now we're going to go back and look at, yet again, another transition off this 180 around the head, okay? When we're looking to try to take their back, all right? We already talked about if they turn away. Then we looked at if they try to stay there, we lift them up. Now we're going to talk about what if we can't lift them up. We're trying, but he's resisting, and we can't get enough space to throw our hook in for the back, all right? And one thing to keep in mind, all these transitions with the darts and the spinning around the head and everything that we're doing here, these are transitions that we're going to want to use for, all our passes. Anytime where we make it past the legs and he tries to get on his side to defend the pass, we're going to be throwing all of these at them at once, okay? Whichever one comes available first, all right? So these are going to be very stable transitions that we're going to use for our whole passing game for the Nogi, all right? So everything is the same. Put them down, double ankle, throw, clear. We start to come in. We use the 180. We spin around, lock our under over here. All right, he didn't churn, so we couldn't put our hook in. So we step, and we start to try to lift him up, okay? Now, it's very common once we, attempt to lift him up, he's going to feel that we're trying to expose his back, and he's going to almost like try to drive against that and keep himself down, okay? And one thing I'm really looking to pay attention to is if he's using his head. He's going to be using his head and his whole body when I'm doing this to push himself back down, okay? So what I'm going to do in that time, I'm going to let go of my under over and I'm going to control his wrist, okay? So my hand's going to go right to his wrist right here, all right? And my arm is going to come over in the front, and we're going to look at how we can transition this straight to the north-south choke. So I'm here. I start to try to lift him up. He's resisting. I check that wrist. I'm going to let him go down and throw my arm around, just like this, okay? Now, I want you guys to see my body position from behind here. When I throw my arm over, I'm sprawling down, okay, just like this. Now, the main thing I need to pay attention to is his chin, all right? If he tries to turn his chin into me, I'm going to use my ribs to pass his head over to the other side. So when I throw this over and I sprawl back, I'm going to use my ribs. You see how I turn his face. So now he's in position to be choked. Now from here, I want to slide down really low, all right? So my arm is completely swallowing his neck. From here, I can let go, use my second hand, and squeeze for the finish, okay? We'll show you guys some more angles of this. So we're right here. We're looking to lift him up. He's resisting, and you see how he'll almost open this space up for us, for his neck, okay? Just catch that wrist, throw your arm over, and look how I immediately start to sprawl back, all right? I'm going to use my rib. First, I go into him, setting the choke, okay? Now I'm going to keep sliding down to where my arm, kind of my shoulder, my deltoid right here, is packed in right around his neck, okay? I'm not on his chest at all. I'm completely wrapped around his neck, all right? So I'm here. I slide down, push my ribs into him. I keep going down, keep my head low. From here, I'm just going to grab the outside of my hand and just pretend this is a guillotine, okay? I'm just going to squeeze, let my body do all the work, and get the tap. All right? Again, let's go front here. Whole sequence, put him down, throw, clear, use our 180, lock, he doesn't churn. We look to lift him up, he resists, check the wrist, throw the arm over, immediately sprawl back, okay? Let's look this side. Watch how I use my ribs. When I sprawl back, he tries to turn his head in. You see how I go into him. Put his head into position. Continue to slide down till I'm right in the spot. Okay, kind of wiggle it into position. Then flex, squeeze, get the tap. This is a very slow choke. When you throw that arm over and you start to fit this position, you're going to take your time, let a lot of your body weight do the work. Don't start to squeeze right away. Just wiggle and fit that choke into position. And then once you're all the way in, grab that hand right around the edge, and there start your squeeze. And just think of it as like a guillotine. almost like upside down, all right? And as long as you're completely around the neck, it's a very easy choke to get the tap with. You don't have to squeeze super hard. Just let your body relax and do all the work for you.